Hello everyone, welcome to webinar 7.0. This is related to our new product enhancements. So I believe you have all gone through our previous webinars where we have presented our latest product enhancements and how it could have benefited our customers, right? Uh, for the month of April, we have few more features that we have released, which we believe could also impact the customers based on their business requirement. Now, these are some of the list of the product enhancements that we're looking at. So, the first thing is the employee activation and attendance dashboard. So, there is a new dashboard that we have now brought in, which helps the managers to have the detailed view of all their type of subordinates in one go, right? So they don't have to use multiple dashboards; it all comes in one dashboard. The second one that we're going to look at is an activity access restriction for group of employees. So this kind of enhancement is where it allows, let's say for example, there is a order intent that has to happen, or it goes to a pool of people, right, who can actually start working on it. But whoever starts working on it should only follow the next steps, not all the other users, right? So this is where you can provide all the access restrictions given to each step, right? The next thing that we have is customer activity visibility. Now this is where we've come across customers where they would actually look at the customer dashboard that we actually show them, but then if they want to see the kind of activities that has happened for the day, they would actually have to navigate to a separate page, right, and then have to have a visibility on that. But what we're doing right now is we're going to bring in have actually enhanced it where the details of the activity will be visible on the same dashboard itself for the manager to view what has happened today and the details around that as well. Now there's a new notification that we have introduced for a customer check-in checkout. Now this is because we have also seen some challenges where the customers are not aware where when their field executives are actually doing the sign in unless they go and see that in the reports, right? Now if they would want to know that what customer has been signed in or what customer has been checked in on emails as soon as the check-ins happen or the checkouts happen, now this is where the enhancement has come in for the notifications, right? Now we will go into the product and see how these enhancements are going to be configured and how these are helpful and how the user journey could be. Now we will skip the basics of signing in into the application of that, because we have done that so far as part of the product webinars previously. So that's about the presentations. I will now directly go to the application. So as you know, this is the web application where, as a manager or as an admin, I would have a view of to monitor the status of all the activities that are actually happening in my organization. Right? Now, the first one that we talked about was the activation dashboard and employee attendance dashboard, right? So if you see, initially we have only one dashboard that says mobile sign-ins, and I would want to actually see the details in a small card over here. Now we have introduced a new card that is called as um, employee assign-ins and activations. So I click on the check over here, click on the save button and click on OK. Now once I do that, it says that the settings are successfully saved. I go back to the home screen here, right? And then this is the new dashboard that is introduced, right? Now if you see, the mobile sign-ins card is also available over here, so I don't have to refer to different dashboards. That's one. Secondly, I get the visibility of all my employees, the ones who are using only laptop or desktop, or the ones who are using the mobile application, who are basically on the field, right? So it tells me how many employees are there under me, how many are using the web application, how many back office employees are there, how many have not yet started using the application after my business has started using this tool, the effort application, how many have not started using the mobile app. So it shows me there. It shows how many are yet to be activated, how many have activated, how many are yet to be activated, employees who have not signed in for the day, employees who are on leave. All the details are visible to me here. So if I would just want to have a glance as to how productive my day could be, this is the dashboard I would actually go to and see the entire details, right? How many have been regularly not signing in for the past 7 days, and all of these details, which helps me let me know that what is the productivity that would happen for this for today, plus what is the consistency of my employees, right? If they're signing in, not signing in, because that becomes a discipline that my employees have to follow. And I would also know that even though there are a lot of notifications that are happening on the mobile application, even then the signs are not happening. There is some anomaly that has been detected from their side. So this is what we wanted to show you as part of the new dashboard that was introduced. Right? Now moving on to the next feature, which was an activity restriction for next steps. Right? So let's go to the app builder. And let's see what I'm talking about, right? So let's say we already have a process created, which is an order booking process. Now, based on the previous webinars where we have shown DIY capabilities, we have also mentioned how these configurations would happen, right? Now, there are a few steps that I've created, which is which is accept order intent, and then we have book order and customer confirmation. We have also introduced something very user friendly here, where you can define what will be the first, second, and third step. So let's say I put this as one. I click on save, I click on OK over here. I come back to this card. Right? If you see, the entire sequence changes over here, right? So it becomes very convenient, because what happens is, over a period of time, when a basic flow is created and there are additional steps added to it, there's a possibility where, based on conditions, some other steps could be initiated, or there could be another step that now becomes the first step, right? So all these sorting becomes easier in such way, right? Now, if you see here, we have three steps, where first, once the order is being generated from the call center or from the back office team, and it's being created, and it goes to the sales team for actually for accepting the order intent. So that's one that happens. Then there's a book order that happens, and then there's a final customer confirmation, right? Now, we will not complete the entire process, but just to show you the functionality, we will first see how the first two steps are being used, right? So what I would do is, I'll go to manage flow here, which is also a shortcut for me. So if you see here, right, the way it should work is, once the back office team says that there's the order, the intent that has come in from a customer, and they would want to go and visit the customer and get the details, right? There is obviously a lot of kind of mappings that you can do. You can do a pin code based mapping of, when the order is created based on pin code, it assigns to the nearest salesperson. It could go based on the customer location. All of these are already available right now. But let's say, as a business, I wouldn't want it to be filtered. I would want any salesperson who's available to go and start working on it, right? So what I would do is, in the allocation rules, I would click on the bulb icon. There's an option, we have select employee groups. I would just enable these two, because the send in sync is something that would help this process to go to the mobile application, right? And I would say that the sales group has to receive this order. So any person in this group will receive the order on the mobile application, right? But this book order, I don't want all the people from the group to work on it, right? I would want one person who has actually accepted that order input to start working on it, because it now becomes his responsibility to continue with that order and close it, right? So I would simply come to enable action level sharing. I click on auto, I click on assign, not this one. I would click on assign this activity to the employee who is performing accept order intent, and I would click on save. Right? So that's the kind of configurations that I would do. I'll just save this here. I'll click on save process. Now what I would do it, I would simply go to the web app here. Now we'll see, how we'll create the work and how it reflects, right? So I go here, I click on order booking, and then I click on the add work here. So I believe you already know how this process works. So let's say a new customer says, a new customer who wants an order to be booked, right? So I would simply say that, there is consultancy, and then this is the email of the stock who has to be and I would enter any other details, right? Because it has to go to a common pool of employees. So I simply click on save over here. Now, this particular order intent is now created, and it gets automatically assigned to those particular people who are in that group, right? If you see, this is the mobile application. It's again available on Play Store as well as on the App Store as well. I've already signed in as well, because we know this the attendance capability of the effort platform, where it helps the user to capture his face and as well as the location as well, right? Now, if you see, this order booking is now available for me here. All I would do is click on this order booking. Now, if I have 10 colleagues who are in sales group, all of these 10 people would receive the same details, and they to show the details here. Now I would actually simply go and start, if I feel that I would actually take this order ahead, I would simply click on order intent over here, and then this particular step gets completed, and it automatically syncs the details back to the web, to make sure that this particular intent is removed from other sales colleagues of mine, right? So that there is no confusion, or there is no overlapping of what has happened. So let's say there are 5 people who are doing it together. Whichever is first synced to the server and the response comes back, for him is the one that it is allocated to, right? So if you see, this order booking one is now allocated to me, I could simply click on order booking. I would simply come here, and I can start completing my order. Now there is another person who is Steve, who is also part of my in the group of sales. So let's see if he's able to see this, right? So I'll just go back Over here, I would log out from here. I would log in as Steve, right? And the password I'll be using here. Click on the login button. Now I would go. I'll just cancel this. I would go to order booking here, and then if you see here, there's a book order that is available, right? It's for Wolf Consultancy. So as Steve, I wouldn't be able to accept it. Automatically says that the book order is to be performed by Alex Matthews. So these are the restrictions that you can go at a granular level for any process. This helps to make sure that whoever is accepting is has the responsibility to obviously complete that entire process. Now, yes, there is also an option to do a reassignment in case if Alex says that I will be doing it, but so due to unfortunate incidents it couldn't happen. Yes, there is an option of doing a reassignment as well, right? So this is what is with the feature that I was talking about related to the activity restriction for next steps, right? The next is the customer activity visibility. So I'll go back to the admin login again. So I'll just use the email ID and the password. Click on the login button. Now I click on the web app here. Right now, if you see, there is a card that it is a dashboard that I can enable, right? So I simply click on this button. There's a dashboard that I can enable which says customer version 2. So I click on this, I click on save, I click on OK. When I come back to the dashboard on the home screen here, so this is the screen that it shows, right? So it typically shows me how many customers are mapped to me, how many are planned for past 30 days, next 30 days, visited not in the plan. All of these details are available to me right now. If I want to see what activities were performed based on the check-ins that has happened, right? How would I see that over here? I don't have a visibility, right? I would obviously have to click on that customer, go to that customer, see the details. So this is a long journey that would happen, right? Now let's say I come here, right? As Alex, I come to one of the customer over here, and then I do a check-in. Let's say I'm doing a check-in here. Click on yes, yeah, and then I click on add activity. So let's say I fill a customer visit, right? So I say that uh, visited customer for Rappo build for nurturing and to seek any new business, right? And I do a signature here of mine, captures the face, click on upload, and I click on save. So let's say this is one of the activity that is completed, right? And I do a checkout here, and so I'll just say ask me later. I click on home, so it automatically syncs. The data gets synced to my web as well. So this is, as an executive, I would fill these details, right? But as a manager, when I come back to the application here, I would simply refresh this page. Right now, if you see, it also tells me that today's activities that are completed, right? So it says that there was a customer visit that was done. So there was one customer visit done. So when I click on this, it says that Alex Matthew has met Darwin Travel today. It also tells me that today's activity one that was done over here. It also tells me the activity ID. I click on this, it shows me what activity was done against that particular customer as part of that form view as well. Right. So this is a very convenient enhancement that has happened, which helps managers to have visibility on the same dashboard, so that it saves their time and have a visibility as fast as it can, right? So this is with the dashboard visibility for customers, activities that is there. Now, we have as part of the last feature I wanted to show is where as a manager, if I would want to configure or if I want to have an information where I would want to know who is checking in with at what time, how many times you're checking, all of these details I would want it as part of the notification, right? So every time a person, so let's say I have a prestigious customers assigned to a certain particular employee, right? And I would want to know that for this person, whenever he's checking in, at what time he's checked in, at what time he's checked out. So it gives me a visibility that how much time he has spent on that particular customer as well. So it's pretty simple. I would go to the menu bar over here. There's a notification channel. I click on this notifications menu over here. I would simply go to the last and just simply disable this. I click on add new notification, right? And then I go to event and I say there's customer check-in notification, right? And then in notify when, so I can simply search for check-in. So I have a customer check-in. So whenever it is check-in, I would want this notification to be triggered. So I would want it to be triggered to these people, immediate manager and as part of the demo, I will also put my email so you can see how it's triggered on my email, right? So I would put the subject here as, let's say from here I can take the variable. So I would say that employee, right, has checked in, right, and I would put the customer name, right, at, I would put the check-in time, right, and I would say that hi manager, your so I would say the same thing here as well, right? In the subject, I would say employee has checked. This also is checked in, customer name. So before this, I'll put two. Over here also put two, just to make it more grammatically correct. Has checked into customer at this time, right? So I'll just put here at this time, right? So all I have to do is click on save. Right now, what we'll do is we'll come back to the application here. I'll just do a sync so that all the configurations are flowing, and it makes sure that whenever this is triggered, whenever the check-in is done, it also triggers the email. Right? So I click on the customers over here, and let's say I'm doing a check-in at Exploration Kits. I click on the yes button, and this is, since it's a deviation, it says that. So I do a check-in, right? Now I go back to the application here, and I go to the mail here, and I would just simply see. So if you see, I get an email for this saying that Alex Matthew has checked into Exploration Kits at so and so date and times, right? So whatever I've configured as part of the notification is visible to me here. So similarly, I can also do notifications for checkout as well, right? So it gives me an entire notification of this details as and when the activities are performed. Right. So this is with the entire demonstration that I wanted to put forth with the four enhancements that we have done on the application. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and for the coming month we have more exciting features. So stay tuned on our webinars and have a good day.